Yeah, you're speaking with the proud owner of a Criterion Collection subscription. So, yeah. Guess what? I'm annoying now.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so if you ever want to log into that I've got the password for you.
You could have just asked Elton.
Does he have one?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah, whatever. I got my own now.
All right,
And you're not allowed to use it. It's mine.
Oh, well.
I changed my mind. I like that it's mine. Eating Soup Alone is a podcast hosted by me, Christopher Crumley, and co-hosted by Nicholas Johnson. We try our best to ramble incoherently about a handful of movies at least once a week. So, you just watched both these films today. I know this because we texted earlier because we're friends. We text sometimes.
Sure did. Sure do.
Yeah.
Sure are.
Yeah, just back to back.
Just back to back.
What order?
Yeah. I watched a little bit of The Man with the Golden Gun the other day.
Yeah.
And then for some reason I watched Saw today, and then the rest of
Nice.
Man with the Golden Gun in that order.
So what would you like to talk about first?
Oh, well, no spoilers, but I feel exactly the same way about both of these movies. So I'm going to rebound that back to you. What would you like to talk about
Let's
first?
go with The Man with the Golden Gun because I'm concerned, honestly, about both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be having anything to say. But let's start with The Man with the Golden Gun. So it's a Roger Moore joint. This came out in 1974.
Four. Directed by Guy Hamilton.
Yes.
Screenplay by Richard
Hamilton.
Hamilton. That's not the last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And Tom Mankiewicz.
Okay, yeah. And it's a Roger Moore joint. I think I already said that. Maybe?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So right off the bat, these are the notes I took. 3 nipples.
Big part.
You see Christopher Lee on the beach with a baddie, and he's got 3 nipples. It's like one of the first.
That is the first note that I wrote down. Is whoa, 3 nipples. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there is a French dwarf.
Oh, Knick Knack?
Yes, Nic Cage.
Played by Hervé something?
Yeah.
He's the guy from Fantasy Island.
I've never seen Fantasy Island, but okay.
Oh, well.
Then a man in a hat takes money from the French dwarf.
True.
I think to kill Christopher Lee. His name's like, what is it, Shugana? Mashugana? His name's like, no, it's like, what, Shaganka?
I think it's like Robert or something.
No,
like
his
that.
name's, no, Christopher Lee's name is like Kaskanga or something.
Shenanga? No, Kananga? No, Kananga's from the last movie.
What's his name? Doesn't it say on the thing you're looking at? You're looking at words, aren't you?
Yeah, but I thought this would be more fun. Scaramanga.
Scaramanga. Okay. It was more fun, you're right. And so then the man with the hat chases Christopher Lee into a fun house of nightmares.
And I'm like, this movie's gonna... Finally, a James Bond movie's gonna kick ass. This is so much fun.
So, I'm confused. Is this like Christopher Lee is like paying assassins to like try to kill him to like stay sharp, or is there something I don't get about what's going on here? Like,
I think from what I got is that guy was a different assassin.
Yeah.
That just had someone else paid him to kill Scaramanga.
Nic Cage paid him, gave him money, but then took it back from his dead body at the end. Yeah. Remember when he reaches into his thing and takes the money out?
I remember him taking the money, but I don't remember him giving him
Nic
money.
Cage gives him money, and he says, like, the rest of it when you kill him.
Oh, maybe he's... Yeah, you're right. Maybe he's paying people to keep sharp.
I guess so. Then, the worst song period. The worst song plays.
So bad.
This is the worst song.
It's the worst James Bond theme. It's the worst song.
I'd rather listen to, like, Friday by Rebecca Black. Anything.
That one's a bop. It was made in the lab to be a bop. So this one is just...
This one's just bad.
I want to say meandering, but it's not. It's a woman at the top of her lungs singing the entire song.
I'm going to look up these lyrics really quick.
The only one I remember, which I'm sure you'll get to, is he comes just before the kill.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but here we go. He has a powerful weapon. He charges $1 million a shot. An assassin that's secret to none, the man with the golden gun. Lurking in some darkened doorway or crouched on a rooftop somewhere, in the next room or this very one, the man with the golden gun. Love is required whenever he's hired. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Are you talking about James Bond because he porks a lot, or are you talking about Scaramanga?
It comes just before the kill. No one can catch him. No hitman can match him for his $1 million skill. One golden shot means another poor victim has come to a glittering end. For a price, he'll erase anyone, the man with the golden gun. His eyes may not be on you or me. Who will he bang?
Never comes up in the movie.
We shall see. Oh, yeah. Love is required whenever he's hired. It comes just before the kill. No one can catch him. No one can match his hitman skill. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we've seen all these. So,
doesn't she start talking about James Bond at some point?
It doesn't look like it.
Like, don't they name drop James Bond in that song?
Doesn't look like it.
Is there a different closing song?
There might be. But anyways, yeah, that was a miss. The Man with the Golden Gun is a cool sounding. But the thing about it is it a play on The Man with the Golden Arm? Does that predate?
I'd never even heard of it.
You never heard of The Man with the Golden Gun?
No. Or arm.
Or with the golden arm. Let me look this up real quick. Because there's also The Man with the Golden Fist.
Also, fun fact, just like Friday the 13th part something, Alice Cooper wrote a theme song for this movie.
Damn, hell yeah.
And they said, no thank you, and he released it on his own.
Yeah, it's a 1955 American independent drama noir film called The Man with the Golden Arm. And, yeah, I am going to try to look up. Can you see anything about The Man with the Golden Gun? Like, why it's a play on that random noir film?
I could, but first, the lyrics to the song were written by Don Black and have been described variously as ludicrous, inane, and one long stream of smut.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm not having any luck, but that's a weird thing, right? Like, I wonder why it's a play on that noir film. I can't find anything. I feel like. Am I the first person to be curious about this? What the fuck? You know? Come on, baby.
Count me number 2.
Yeah. Well, you can go ahead and do some research. I really don't have many more notes, but I will say this: Scaramanga. I think so. The plot for this is that James Bond has a hit on his head.
Correct.
Yeah. And his boss, M, right?
Correct.
Is mad at him.
Sure.
Always.
Constantly.
He's just like, you could either fucking figure this out or 2 weeks leave. Your choice. For whatever reason. I don't know why he's mad at him.
I think he's like kind of giving him like a little...
Tough love?
Like a... Hey, man, listen, if anyone asks, I had nothing to do with this by the tone in my voice, huh? But, you know, maybe if you were to go and figure it out yourself, things will go a little bit easier.
Okay, I missed that subtext. I tried really hard not to look at my phone for this movie, but the second half I did look at my phone a lot.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to look at your phone during it. They didn't exist at the time, but when they were making these movies, they're like, kids are going to be on their phones or whatever.
Then he's in Tokyo?
Bangkok?
Bangkok?
I believe so.
Okay. He's in Bangkok. God damn, I might have to look up the frickin' synopses at this point. The Man with the Golden Gun. It runs 2 hours and 2 minutes. Fun fact. It's a loose adaptation, says the whatever. Yeah, okay. So, hint from Moneypenny, Scaramanga. First by retrieving a spent golden bullet from Beirut. Then he goes to Hong Kong. It is, and in her hotel room, he coerces her to give him information about Scaramanga. She directs Bond to the Bottoms Up Club, where Scaramanga snipes Gibson.
She says it's in the Bottoms Up Club, and then it hard cuts to a woman's ass.
Yeah.
Fun movie.
Yeah.
I got nothing about this name. Sorry.
I will, real quick, I'm going to say like what I think is considered kind of like slurish or inappropriate, but it is written here on Wikipedia, so I'm just going to read this. She directs James Bond to the Bottoms Up Club, where Scaramanga snipes Gibson when he steps outside, and Scaramanga's midget assistant Knick-Knack steals a small device called the Solix Agitator off his body. It's very strange when he has, like, why not... I don't just call him Knick-Knack. Why call him Scaramanga's midget assistant Knick-Knack?
That's a great point. I mean,
especially because he's got to have been mentioned before, right?
It's more colorful, but also, yeah, you don't... Yeah.
That was just a weird way to phrase that, I feel like.
Also,
so anyways.
Never mind. Go on.
You gonna drop it, or we could?
I was gonna say why does Scaramanga have an assistant that is a little person?
I don't know. I'm assuming somebody in the 70s thought it would be funny.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to get into the mind of the character. Why is Christopher probably the same thing? Christopher Lee is like, I got so much money for killing people, and if I'm gonna have a henchman, I might as well like him.
Question: what the fuck is the Solix Agitator?
Oh, the Solix agitator is the, I want to say
Is it just like nonsense flux capacitor words?
Yeah,
like,
I think it's a thing that they put in the machine that makes the laser go at the end. That like she has hidden.
I don't even remember there being a laser. I sort of
That's
got him
all I
everything
remember. His whole plan, Chris.
I thought it was just an assassin. What plan does he have? What are you talking about? Plan? Kill people with a gun. I thought was his plan.
From what I remember from 2 hours ago,
yeah,
is he's the big bad assassin.
Okay.
Everybody fears him.
Yeah. Are you just ready? Okay, all right. It's a good bit. Yeah.
Okay, he's the assassin. He's the guy with the golden gun. He's got a crazy gold gun that makes big bullets.
Yes.
And he charges $1 million a hit.
Yeah.
And he's working for that guy who's in this movie at some point.
Yeah,
who's the head of a place, a corporation maybe. And he gets put as the number 2 of that corporation, just in case CEO man needs him to kill somebody.
Sure.
And then after something happens, he kills him and then goes, I'm the boss now. And now that I'm the boss, I got a big laser. What does he do with the big laser? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out as I read this synopsis, that's for sure. I wrote this down. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, but there's a scene where Christopher Lee's in a room with a woman, and she's in bed. And he's got his gun in his hand, and he kind of like sexily like puts it in her mouth.
I don't remember that.
No?
What I do remember, though, is we already got past the part where James Bond needs that woman's belly button ring.
That doesn't ring a bell, but okay, so what's up?
He's... The reason he runs into Christopher Lee and Nick Neck at first is because he's there investigating the murder of 002, maybe? And the bullet that killed him is being worn as a belly button ring by that dancer at Bottoms Up.
Yeah.
And we just see Roger Moore kiss a woman's stomach for way too long.
Okay.
And then that was all part of the plan because a goon comes and knocks him on the back of the head and he goes, oh, I fell and accidentally swallowed your belly button ring. And then when he gets out of there, he's like, taxi, take me to the nearest pharmacist. So he's going to shit it out. And then he shits it out, and then they go, we know where this bullet came from.
The more you talk about it, the more that I feel like I love this movie.
Yeah. On paper, it's great.
Yeah. He gets arrested by the Hong Kong police lieutenant Hip, and then they take him out to the Queen Elizabeth, where M and Q are hanging out, which I wrote on the Titanic.
Does it look like the Titanic?
No, it's the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh.
Then Bond travels to Bangkok. So we were in Hong Kong. Now we're in Bangkok to meet that guy named Fat. He's a wealthy Thai entrepreneur suspected of arranging Gibson's murder, posing as Scaramanga. Yeah, I wrote down racist guards because the guards are dressed in like cartoonish Halloween. I'm gonna say it again, a bad word, but like they're dressed like if you wrote if you went to plant like to Party City and they just said like Chinaman outfit.
Yeah.
It's like silk, like cheap silk, black and white, like kung fu. Yeah,
I did notice a costume-wise a few times in this movie. It felt like Jason X, where it's just like that looks way too clean and new and out of a plastic bag. All these costumes
but it's just like again, it's like one of those things like with Christopher Lee having like a dwarf assistant. It was one of those things where I was like, did Fat make them dress like that? Because they could just wear suits.
That's a great point.
He's wearing a suit. They don't have to be wearing this.
Yeah, but if you're a rich entrepreneur and you got billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, but if you're a British guy in the 70s
I guess.
and it's in Bangkok, you'd be like, put him in the Chinaman outfits.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's a great point.
That's what it reads for me more. You're right. Like racist filmmaking. More than
you're right. Now that I think about it, this James Bond movie is a little bit racist.
Yeah. So, not super dope. And then I also wrote down smoking with your dog on your shoulders. Because Hip is standing on James Bond's shoulders and James Bond is just chiefing a cigar.
I love that so much.
I do also. Then he disguises himself with a third nipple so that he could talk to Fat.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he leaves...
Oh, remember the woman he meets in the pool?
Yes. What is her name again?
I was going to ask you, what is her name again? Her name is Chu Mi.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. This James Bond movie from the 70s is racist.
It's racist and also disgusting.
Yeah. So then there's probably a good hour and 30 minutes where I didn't write anything else down because the next thing that I have written down is she asses the big red button. I think you know what I'm talking about. You don't?
I don't. No.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay, wait. I want to know what happens between the pool and the ass in the button.
Ass in the button is like 7 minutes left in the runtime. Like we got a lot. So I'm looking at the Bond is invited to dinner.
Oh, okay.
Unbeknownst to him, Scaramanga is operating at Fat's estate. Bond is captured and taken to Fat's martial arts academy, where the students duel to the death and then are instructed to kill him. Bond battles high-grade scholar, escaping with the aid of Hip and his nieces. Bond speeds away on a long-tailed boat along the river, reunites with his assistant, Mary Goodnight. Scaramanga subsequently kills Fat with his golden gun and assumes control of his empire and the Solex.
Gotta say, love the golden gun.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't even think it looks great. I think it looks really stupid. But every time he's like taking off his cufflinks or whatever, I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Christopher Lee's a great choice for a Bond villain.
Absolutely. Also specifically in this movie, looks almost identical to my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost looks a lot like Dracula, too.
Yeah. My grandfather looked a lot like Nosferatu, so that makes sense.
Anders reveals to Bond that she sent the bullet to London. She wants him to kill Scaramanga and promises to give him the Solex as they spend the night together.
Oh, yeah. I was confused about her because I don't remember where she came from. I believe this is Maud Adams' character. But the woman who's like, yeah, I sent the bullet to MI6 so that you would know he's after you so you could kill him. But who is she? Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from? Cotton Eye Joe, but I don't know where she came from.
Great question. At a Muay Thai boxing event the next day, Bond finds Anders sitting and staring silently, dead from a bullet to the heart. Scaramanga arrives and introduces himself, but Bond is unable to smuggle... but he is able to smuggle the Solex to Hip, who passes it to Goodnight. Goodnight follows Nic Cage to place a homing device on the car, but gets trapped in the car's trunk. So this is definitely written by a British guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bond discovers Scaramanga driving off and steals an AMC Hornet from a showroom to give chase, coincidentally, with the holidaying J.W. Pepper, the Louisiana sheriff Bond encountered in Live and Let Die.
And Chris, let me tell you, I've never popped more for a movie in my life. Oh my God, to realize J.W. Pepper was back.
Yeah.
Like, the last movie we talked about, very blaxploitation, because that was what was big at the time.
Yeah.
This one, very like a martial arts movie, which was very big at the time. And I guess during the duration of both of these movies,
Louisiana sheriffs were just
Beverly Hillbillies must have been fucking
maybe
huge.
Dukes of Hazzard, I don't know.
Cannot imagine bringing this guy back. Like, why? I can't imagine someone in a movie theater in 1974 going,
is that J.W. Pepper?
It's J.W. Pepper, our favorite James Bond character. Yeah. Oh my God. And I feel like he was also in this movie for the same reason he was in the last movies. So the movie itself could go, you thought this other stuff was racist that we were doing? This guy's racist.
All right. The chase concludes when Scaramanga's AMC Matador hides in a building and then transforms into a plane and flies off. Tracking Goodnight's homing beacon, Bond takes a RC-3 Sea-Beast seaplane and flies to Scaramanga's island in the Red Chinese waters. Scaramanga welcomes and shows Bond the solar power plant facility that he has obtained from Fat. You got something?
Out of all my... hey, we're at the bad guy's lair, and he's just being a nice guy showing you around. This one might be my favorite. I like Christopher Lee quite a bit.
Wish I was checked in at this point, but I checked out. The technology for which he intends to sell to the highest bidder. While demonstrating the equipment, Scaramanga uses the solar-powered energy beam to destroy Bond's seaplane, preventing him from escaping. During lunch, Scaramanga poses a pistol duel with Bond. I remember this.
So sick.
With Nic Cage officiating. The two men then take 20 paces, but when Bond turns and fires, Scaramanga vanished. Nic Cage leads Bond to Scaramanga's manor and into the Nightmare Funhouse section.
Yeah, Nic Cage says, Mr. Bond, when he's dead, all of this becomes mine, so I'll take you to him.
Nice. Bond eventually outwits and kills Scaramanga by posing as his mannequin. Midnight kills Scaramanga's security chief Kra, but the latter's fall into a liquid helium vat causes the plant's temperature to spiral out of control. Bond retrieves the Solex unit just before the plant is destroyed, and they escape unharmed in Scaramanga's Chinese junk. Scaramanga's Chinese junk? What does that mean? Junk is a kind of ship. Okay. After Bond fends off a final attack by Nic Cage, he romances Goodnight. So, question. Did James Bond fuck in this?
Yeah, he fucks at the end.
Just at the end?
No, he also, I think in the running for this movie for most disrespectful, he takes Goodnight up to his room because they're at the hotel and they're gonna have sex, and the other woman, whose name is
Anders?
Yeah.
Mary Goodnight?
Yes, Anders.
Okay.
Comes up to his room and he goes, "Oh fuck, Goodnight, hide in the closet." And she goes and hides in the closet, and then he has to romance Anders so he could follow her the next day. So he has sex with her while the other woman has to sleep in the closet.
Ooh, he got that dog in him.
Second most disrespectful thing happens at the end.
Which is?
After where we left off, him and Goodnight are on the train. Is it a train? No, they're on a boat. And they're going to do the do. And then Nic Cage shows up. And he's fighting James Bond with a knife. And then James Bond puts him in a suitcase.
Nice. It's pretty disrespectful.
It's fucked up is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's that on that one, huh? I would say I'm so torn because there's so much just so bad it's good here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't... Like I said, I watched this movie 2 hours ago. I don't really remember a lot of it.
Yeah, but I would revisit this one.
I might, because I do like Christopher Lee.
Yeah, and Nic Cage.
And Nic Cage.
I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd, and I said I gave 1 for Christopher Lee and 1 for Nic Cage. So I think I got to give it a D+, and I got to say, you know, I was really a kind of a hater, and then the more we talked about it, the more I was like, kind of beats ass in a so bad it's good way.
How do you feel about Roger Moore in this one? I remember you thinking he was bland last time.
Yeah, bland.
Yeah.
Still kind of bland.
Yeah.
Did he do a lot for you this time around?
No, not really.
Yeah.
He's the most, like...
We're in the trenches now.
Forgettable. Yeah, I think that's what people say.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're watching Friday the 13th. In the sense that like the first like 2 or 3 are like traditionally decent movies. You know what I'm saying? Not amazing, but like they are structured and like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just off the rails, and I feel like we're in the off the rails section where it's just like...
Yeah, but whereas Friday the 13th, when it was off the rails, there was at least some stuff you could hold on to and go, that was fun, or that was like, oh, you could tell that this person in this movie was really trying to make something fun and cool. But in this, they just feel like weird, out of touch for the 70s movies where they're just like, if we throw enough money at this movie, people are going to go see it, so let's just keep doing that.
Yeah, it's so weird because it seems like, again, I don't have the contemporary perspective for these films. And I know that they were probably, to some degree, especially for children, like, the coolest thing. Or else they wouldn't have made a million monies, and they wouldn't have made a million of them, you know? But it does kind of just reek of, like, trying to keep up with the times.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what these, especially in the trenches, that's what these are. It's because, like...
They're like, we don't know what James Bond is anymore.
It's the 70s, and so
we
don't know...
James Bond in the 70s?
Yeah, we don't know how to make James Bond interesting to hippies anymore.
Yeah.
Because the first one what was like late 60s, yeah, mid to late 60s. So he was like the ideal cool guy, and then immediately, just immediately, he's dated and gross and old and something your dad would like.
What are you giving it? I gave it a D+. I got to write your thing down.
I'm gonna give it a C-.
C-, okay. For Christopher Lee.
For Christopher Lee exclusively, and a cool little gun.
And a cool little guy.
That's a cool little guy.
All right. Well, that's that on that.
It's not.
It's not. You got something.
Say it again afterwards. I just thought of a third contender for most disrespectful part of this movie.
Okay.
Remember when James Bond is racing around with J.W. Peppa? And J.W. Peppa's just like, oh, you're that secret agent. Who we chasing? And so they're chasing him together. And they drive off that like weird crooked bridge.
Yeah.
And the car flips all the way around and lands on the other ramp.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it's 1974, so that's a real guy in a real car doing that.
Yeah.
That's crazy dangerous and looks so cool.
Yeah.
And then they put a slide whistle over it. So I don't know if you remember, but it goes, it spins, it's in the midair, and it goes, and then it lands, it goes, So that is so disrespectful to everybody
involved.
The guy in the car. It's respectful specifically to the man in the car.
That's fair.
I'm going to put that there.
Oh, man. How many more of these motherfuckers do we have to watch?
I kind of don't want to know.
Yeah, you'd rather just be blind?
But, I mean, I'll
luckily, Saw will be over in like 4 more episodes, and we'll be doing these with...
I'm really hoping.
Something.
I'm really, really hoping.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop.
Man, oh, man.
Man, oh, man.
I'm also trying to find right now the same stuff. What is a non-Eon movie film? Non-Eon film. Casino Royale. And
we have 17. We have 16 left if we don't watch the non-Eon film, which is Never Say Never Again, which is the remake of Thunderball.
And also it says Casino Royale from 1967.
That's the one with that's either the one with somebody or it's the Woody Allen one.
I feel like we don't gotta watch the non.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Eon ones. Maybe like eventually. But we have 16, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good Lord. Well, the next one is The Spy Who Loved Me. You know what I was thinking about earlier? I took a walk on the block and I was like, man, I feel like there are certain people who'd want to shoot me with a gun if they heard me say this, but I almost would rather if someone was like, yo, you want to pop on a James Bond movie or you want to watch Austin Powers? I probably want to watch an Austin Powers film. Any one of those.
I'm really excited to watch an Austin Powers after we finish all these.
Yeah.
Because I feel like...
Well, we've seen the first one for the show, so we're going to have to watch the second one, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Okay. But, I mean, I can watch it on my own. I want to believe that Austin Powers comes off like a young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
We're like, this would actually be a pretty good James Bond movie if it wasn't funny, you know? So, that's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed.
My father would make ridiculous claims like he invented the question mark.
So good. So good.
Well, we watched another film, Saw 6.
Saw 6 came out in 2009, directed by Kevin Gertert. Screenplay by Patrick
Bateman.
Melton. And Marcus
Aurelius
Dunstan.
Ah, okay.
Correct. Shot by David A. Armstrong. I'm sure he doesn't want his name on this. Budget of $11 million. Box office of Chris, guess?
It made $163 million.
Ooh, $69 million.
Oh, okay.
You're off by about $100 million.
Yeah, $107 million or $106 million. Yeah.
And this one is the one I'm most scared about.
Why?
Because also watched it earlier today. Chris, I can't tell you how this movie begins, how this movie ends, what happens in the middle.
Yeah.
So, I hope you do. I did take a couple notes, but nothing I think that helped.
This one, I really stayed off my phone for. Not because it was good, because I was trying to be a good boy. Did not like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reading my notes, so I'm starting to remember. Okay, yeah.
So this one piggybacks off of the last one's, like, you guys burned down an apartment complex and killed poor people to make money. Like, this, economic terrorists jigsaw arc where he's...
Yeah, it definitely has to be because this came out in 2009, right after the 2008 crisis. But I don't know, I liked it. I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like this is... I feel like it would have been a good angle for all of these movies if, like, all the bad people, more of the bad people in the traps were, like, predatory lenders and health insurance executives and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, I feel like instead of just being like, the bad people in the traps are drug addicts and prostitutes and stuff like that. Oh, God, this feels...
it's so weird how, like, once he's Rorschach and then another time he's,
it's very strange.
It's very strange, yeah.
Yeah, pick a lane. Also, oh my God, I think these movies would be more believable if he came back from the dead.
Yeah.
The amount of pre-recorded tapes that are still being played for people recorded by Jigsaw, of course, we're 3 movies out from him being dead.
Yeah, that's something I said during the...
So sorry.
Yeah, that's something I said during Will came over, we watched it, and I was like, at this point, I want them to jump the shark and bring back Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Just bring him back.
And until that happens, I'm glad these movies are getting woke, because I think that's pretty funny.
So we start off with 2 predatory lenders that are locked into harnesses with screws aimed at their temples. They each have 1 minute to cut flesh from their bodies on a weighted scale to see who can cut the most off to, like, survive.
And one guy's bigger. than the woman who's in there with him.
Right.
And so he's like, hell yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
And this lady, I love this lady. She fucking definition of locks in and cuts off her own arm.
Yeah.
I was like, just like James Bond. I was like, I might not hate this one. I think the last 3 Saws that we've seen, they start and I go, I might not hate this one.
Yeah.
And then I hate him by the end.
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned on the show before. I probably have. Don't do great with gore, always. So these are always kind of a little hard for me to stomach, but excuse me. I know it's fake, but still.
Yeah, I don't know why I get kind of squeamish too sometimes. So for some reason, something about a Saw movie and the way it looks, just nothing ever really gets me.
The game is observed by Mark Hoffman, who has just escaped the trap that killed FBI agent Peter Strahm. He then uses Strahm's severed hand to plant the fingerprints on the scene. I do like the tension of them figuring out that it's Hoffman.
Yeah,
but I just still don't like Detective Hoffman being Jigsaw.
I don't like Detective Hoffman being in my line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks because
he doesn't read as the guy.
He doesn't read as smart or capable. He reads as... I really wish they would have led into it, but yeah, he reads as a big dumb dipshit.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump ahead too much, but I'm going to jump ahead quite a bit. The point where they're on the merry-go-round and there's like 6 people chained to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just another moment where like I hate being the nitpicky guy, semantic guy, but how many fucking people can Jigsaw and Hoffman kidnap before someone notices that Jigsaw's up to something? Like what the fuck?
And those are what, like there's 6 people on that carousel.
Just the carousel alone.
Yeah, those are 6 people who work in the same building.
Yeah, so like, whatever.
I won't jump ahead because we'll get there when we get there. But
yeah. So he plants the fingerprints with a dead hand.
Made me laugh so hard when he did it a second time later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, why did he do it in the burning building situation? Because they know he's dead.
Everybody would know that these dead bodies were killed by a man who died 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange. Anyways, the police and FBI agent Dan Erickson investigate alongside FBI agent Lindsay Perez, whose survival is concealed by Erickson for her protection. Right, because there's that whole thing where Hoffman's like, you guys kept shit from me. I'm not working with you. And they're like, nah, bro, we'll tell you everything now. Deal? And he's like, all right, deal.
Yeah, and I like like you said, the tension between them figuring out it's him, but also at the same time immediately they're like, yeah, we know it's you.
Yeah.
They never say it to him, but I like every time they bring anything to him, he's like, okay, so what? Big deal. Why should I care?
Yeah. During Eddie's autopsy, Dr. Hefner reveals that the blade used to cut the puzzle piece from his remains is the same one that was used on Seth Baxter, who is the guy who killed Hoffman's sister. And you're right, the being a dumb guy thing, he's like, you could tell that a different knife was used to cut this stuff out by a picture?
Well, you telling me, is this what you're telling me? You telling me you can figure this out?
And they're like, no, but then the autopsy guy's like, but I can.
Bum, bum, bum. It's great. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I love it.
Perez and Erickson reopen the investigation and analyze the videotape found at the scene. Hoffman arrives at Jill Tuck's clinic and demands the 5 envelopes that were, given to him or her from the game box that John Kramer left him. The game involves health insurance executive William Easton and his associates, whose company's dubious business policy turned down their clients' coverage for medical treatment. Yeah, that's a whole thing. They even turned down John Kramer.
Who, like, why is he... Is he there talking to him just because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get someone for a trap? Because he says to him a bunch of times, like, oh, I can afford this surgery without health insurance.
Yeah, and they're like, but we'll drop you.
Yeah, so it's... Okay, yeah, so it's not like a vendetta thing for him. He's just like, oh, yeah, no, I got this guy. Dead to rights.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because it's like... I feel like, again, it's a teeter-tottering of the character, where sometimes he just randomly is like, we're going to play a game. Your kid was killed in a drunk driving accident, and I'm going to let you decide whether or not the judge and like the jury and all these people live, right? And then other times, he's like, this guy made my wife miscarriage, so I'm going to put him in a saw trap. Mm-hmm. This guy denied me coverage for my health insurance, so I'm going to put him in a saw trap. So,
this
one rides the teeter, because like he has the personal thing of like he got denied and he thinks that's fucked up, but then he can also use the cop out of like, well, they deny so many people. But it's just like, again, like I don't know. Again, I don't want to nitpick a fucking movie that is literally not even worth my time to watch. But like, yeah, just like him teeter-tottering between like having a message be like, oh yeah, you should just appreciate life more, or then sometimes be a punishment. Same thing. Like this one's confusing to me because it's like, okay, so now this is like another guy. Like he's doing like he's got like a list. He's got like a list of people that like have wronged him that he's gonna like take out with saw traps before he dies.
And like you said, the thinking behind putting these people in these traps is so all over the map. But also think about these are all happening basically at the same time. Yeah.
It's like that one night in the Dark Knight where the Joker has all that shit go down.
That's exactly like that. Yeah.
He's going Joker mode.
He's going Joker mode.
Well, anyway, so the game involves, I read that. Hoffman abducts them and puts them in an abandoned zoo. At first, William and his janitor Hank are suspended with chains, and there's big vices around them, and they're going to crush their bodies if they breathe.
This one is the biggest, I think, proponent of all over the map, where it is the insurance agent who denied him health coverage.
Yeah.
And in the other trap is a man who, even though he knows he has a history of heart disease, still continues to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's why he's in the saw trap, Chris. Is because he smokes cigarettes.
And this is just a murder that Jigsaw / Hoffman is committing to make the guy feel bad.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, this innocent man is dying just so that he can be like, you denied him coverage. You should feel guilty now that I'm crushing him in a vice.
No, that's not the guy. Didn't deny that guy coverage. That's the janitor at his office.
Oh, I know who it is. I thought he'd also just been denied coverage. My bad.
No, he's there because he smokes cigarettes and isn't appreciating his life. Like, that's his reasoning for it. And if it was dumbass Hoffman, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But they go to great lengths to let you know, no, this is all Jigsaw's doing. This is all his thinking that Hoffman's just carrying out now.
But anyways, so as these tests happen, where he obviously can hold his breath longer than a guy who smokes cigarettes, so he gets the key to these bomb shackles he has all over all of his limbs. He has bomb shackles all over all of his limbs, and he only has an hour to solve all these puzzles. The second test is at an aquarium that forces William to save his middle-aged secretary over his file clerk, Alan, because they're both being hung by barbed wire nooses, and basically he's just like, what are you going to do? Are you going to kill the lady who you'd probably deny coverage, but she has a husband and kids, so she'd be missed? Or would you kill the young guy who's healthy, so you would probably give him coverage, but he has no living relatives, so he's just a blip. He's a nothing. It's like that, I think you should leave Skip. You know what I'm talking about? Where he shows up and they're like, why are you late? And he's like, it's babysitter, stupid babysitter. She got a hit and run. And they're like, oh my God, are the people okay? And he's like, no, the police said they're like nothing.
They're just like nobody. They didn't matter, so exactly. It's fine.
So, anywho, obviously he chooses the old lady. He chooses Susan Boyle. At the boiler room, William unwittingly releases his lawyer, Debbie, who attacks him to retrieve a key inside of his body. Oh, yeah, because she's like leading him through the Freddy Krueger's, Freddy on Your Block's house. Did you like that meme earlier?
I did. I liked it. I did. Yeah.
Freddy on Your Block is so funny.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
On Your Block is what kills me. Like, Freddy on Your Block.
What kills me is under it where it says you are friends on Facebook.
Anyways, yeah, she starts attacking him with a saw because like Jigsaw / Hoffman put a picture up there of like a key inside of a man's body, and she's like, "It's in you." Anyways, he fights her off until the device kills her. William's final test involves his 6 subordinates chained to a rotating roundabout, where he is only able to save 2 of them from a mounted shotgun.
And I like this part quite a bit, but also hate it because it makes me think of like how good the rest of the movie could be, because like first, like with his secretary and the young guy, it's just like he's like, yeah, your policy that you've made for your health insurance company is that this guy would live with this woman wouldn't. So what's your right here in the moment choice? And then I like got all the interns together, whatever. He's like, these people, their job basically.
Did they call him the dog pit or something like that?
The dog pit.
Yeah, the dog pit.
Basically, they deny 2/3 of people who apply. So you have to kill 2/3 of these people. It's just like, yeah, I like this. This kicks ass. This is like a good motivation / reflection in the trap. Yeah. But then there's also a bunch of bullshit all over this movie, so it's just like, it sucks. But I do like this trap, and I like the dude at the end going, "You look at me! You look at me while you're killing me!" It's great. It's fun. I like it.
Let's take it back. The first time you meet this man, William Easton. Mm-hmm. He's like pouring whiskey for him and the blonde lady. I thought they were gonna fuck. Mm-hmm. Especially because he calls his wife on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, honey, I know it's your birthday, but I have to work late." It's like cartoonish. This is cartoonishly bad. But anyways, back to the merry-go-round. Yeah, he saves both of the ladies.
And I like by the end, he's not even like really like doesn't really care who he's shooting anymore. He's like, it doesn't matter. Just gonna just start letting people die.
Yeah. And the game is viewed by mother Tara and her teenage son Brent, and news journalist Pamela Jenkins from 2 opposite animal enclosures below the observation room.
This woman is, I think, on level with Jigsaw's wife in being the worst actress I've seen in a movie.
Okay.
She's writing that sensationalized book, and she's talking to Hoffman, and Hoffman's like, "Hey, you fucking suck. Fuck you." And she's like, "Hey, if you can get me an interview with that wife," she says, and I quote, "I dial down the sensationalism."
Okay.
And I love it. It's like, hey, you already wrote the book. What are you talking about?
During the game, Hoffman is called away by Erickson to the audio lab after obtaining the videotape. Erickson
also loves him sitting there listening to the trap happening on a cassette.
Erickson, now aware of Strom's demise, confronts Hoffman after discovering the abnormalities found in Strom's fingerprints at the time of his death. When Hoffman's voice is unscrambled from the tape, he just goes fucking SEAL Team 6, Black Hawk, Black Ops on these motherfuckers.
Just the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, they are so...
Up until that point, it was a very tense scene that I was like, oh. But then he just starts going fucking sicko mode. He wore an ultimatum on their ass. And I was like, what the fuck?
They're telling him for so long and for so many days it feels like, hey, we're closing in on this. We're figuring it out. And then when they're like, we got the computer unscrambling the mumbo-jumbo to find out who the voice is, it's like... Hoffman then goes, I'll just kind of hang out and see how this goes. It's like, I do something. Run, leave, kill people. You kidnap 6 people from one office. You can make these people disappear.
Oh, for sure.
Ugh. But no, he just waits around until literally in front of them, his voice is revealed to them. And
yeah. He kind of still kills Perez like Perez style. He just stabs her a bunch. Crazy. And then he freaking covers him in gasoline and then puts Strom's fingerprints everywhere as if he wasn't already told. We can tell that he was dead when the fingerprints are, which I don't know how they could tell that from a fingerprint specifically.
You cannot.
Yeah.
I think fingerprints, I mean, it's one of a million movie things, but I think fingerprints a big time in movies work like magic compared to real life.
But I don't know what information the print of your finger would be able to give you that would tell you that there's not blood coursing through the veins of the person who left
Nothing.
it.
It's literally just the oils of your hand stamped onto something.
Exactly. So, do you think there exists a which Saw character are you quiz?
Like a BuzzFeed type thing?
Yeah.
I want to say yeah, but also, what are your options?
I don't know. We got to find out.
What makes you a real
Hoffman?
You know?
You're not even a little curious?
I'm gonna look it up, and if there's not one, we're making one.
Okay. It's been a while since you made a little game, so.
I don't know how to make one of these. Yeah, personalityquiz.com. Which Saw character are you? I'm gonna take this right now. My name is Hoffman. Start quiz. We'll take this together. There's only 10 questions.
Okay.
You forget an important assignment, and now you only have a day left to turn it in. What do you do? A. Get started as soon as possible. You will still want to get a good grade, so you'll stay up all night working on it if you have to. B. Message your friend to see if they'll give you a hand with it. C. Email your professor to say that there's a family emergency, so you need the deadline extended. Or D. Rush it at expense of quality. You just want it finished and hand it in so you can focus on other things. Or E. Plagiarism, baby.
I would probably say the first one. I'd probably
get started as soon as possible. Stay up all night.
Possible. Yeah.
All right. Next.
What about you? What'd you say?
I would probably end up doing that. Pick an edgy song lyric. A. What can I do? What can I say? Choose your weapon. Time to play. B. I'll show you the rage I've hidden. Perish the sacrament. Follow, but nothing's forgiven. C. Go make a difference while you are still alive. To be the bigger man requires that you standing high. You're standing high, I assume. D. I'm fearless now, but I cost my soul. Save yourself. The moon is full. Or E. Blood red lips, they shake like leaves, your flesh and blood, but what's underneath? Do you recognize any of these songs?
No, I don't, but I don't know what your choice is. I'm going with Blood Red Lips, Shake Like Leaves, because that's the only one that has some poetry to it. You can see the bright red lips, you can hear the shaking of the leaves. The other ones are all just, choose your weapon, what'll I do, I'll show you the rage hidden, perish the sacrament. These are all
great.
Nothing,
I totally agree. Question 3, pick your superpower. Super strength, telepathy, shape-shifting, immortality, or invisibility.
Man. I'm going to say, golly.
I like shape-shifting.
I think
always seems fun.
Shape-shifting is very fun. Telepathy is concerning. That's when you can read people's thoughts.
Yeah,
right?
I don't like that.
That's a red flag superpower. Invisibility,
feels
fun,
like
but also a red flag superpower.
Red flag superpower, yeah.
It really comes down to, for me, shape-shifting does sound cool, but I would say either immortality or super strength, but people always say immortality is like, you don't want that for real.
Mm-hmm. And then super strength, what, you're just not going to go to the gym anymore? Don't you like doing gym stuff? Don't you like working out?
I do, but it'd be cool to go and then just like be freaking people out. Like I'm just like lifting the entire machine.
Yeah, but how long is that going to be good for you?
Not that long, but I don't know. I could pick my friends up, no problem. Give people piggyback rides.
Yeah, but imagine giving people piggyback rides and thinking, I earned this.
Well, just so you know, I'm taking it over here. So I'm going to go super strength. You go with whatever
you
want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pick a drink. Question 4. Coffee, soda, juice, an energy drink, or water?
I got to go coffee.
I'll go coffee every time.
Are we going to end up with the same character?
I hope so. Question 5. You find out a friend has been spreading rumors about you. What do you do?
Ooh.
Don't confront them, but distance yourself and let the friendship come to a natural end. Cuss them out. Maybe even start spreading some rumors on your own. Serves them right. Try to find out what the problem was and why they felt the need to be so childish about it instead of just talking to you. And lastly, cut them off. It's needless drama, not worth your time.
Good question. Well,
Go ahead. I don't like confrontation, but I desire closure, so I'd probably confront them and see what the fuck is up.
Yeah, I would say similarly, like if it was a bad enough rumor, I would go that route, but it depends because it's also like, I've had like things where like heard through the grapevine that like, like, oh, so and so was talking about how like, oh, you're like rushing into that or like get it, and like I didn't necessarily say things. I was like, all right, whatever. I guess 20 somethings can have an opinion of their other friends' decisions without me having to like make a big stink. So I guess if this is a big rumor, I'm going same thing, like kind of sort out like what's the deal. Like you telling people I got a third nipple, why?
Absolutely. Question 6. Choose a horror film. Friday the 13th, Saw, Scream, Sinister, or the Poughkeepsie Tapes.
I love the Friday the 13th films, but I think Scream's the best one in this
okay
collection.
Question 7. Do you think Adam is still alive? No strong opinion. I don't know. No, because the evidence doesn't hold up and we see his corpse on screen. Yes, because I love him. Yes, because there's evidence in the films to suggest it. No strong opinion. I don't know.
The guy who wrote the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going no strong opinion.
I don't care an option.
Yeah.
Would you survive a jigsaw trap? Heavily depends on the trap in question. I'd never do something that would get me tested in the first place. No way. I'd die. LOL. I'd have a good chance of survival. I'd just follow the rules.
It's a no for me, dog.
I'd never do something to get me tested in the first place.
Okay.
So, question 9. What do you look for in a partner? I don't care about relationships. I want someone who can provide stability. I look for someone who supports my dreams. I don't really know, / nothing in particular. If I like them, I like them. Excitement. I want to have fun. I want them to keep me on my toes.
Stability.
Stability, yeah?
Yeah, what'd you go for?
I don't really know. Nothing in particular. If I like them, I like them.
Okay.
Question 10. And finally, did you enjoy Jigsaw 2017? Yes, I love Logan Nelson. Yes, I wasn't really as bad as... I guess we'll find out. I wasn't really as bad as everyone says. Bruh, I haven't even seen it. No, because it was boring and a disappointment compared to the originals? No, because it totally messed with the lore / John's backstory. I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, that's what I said too. All right, who'd you get?
I got Jill Tuck.
No kidding, I got Jill Tuck too.
Oh, hell yeah. We're most like Jill Tuck. We always try to have see the best in people, and you always try to do what you think is right.
Is that really how you describe Jill Tuck?
That can be a good thing, but you should remember not to put yourself in danger for the sake of others.
AKA,
look after yourself,
don't get involved in saw traps just because your husband has cancer and you feel bad for, I don't know, maybe divorcing. Like, why is she participating? Why is she supporting his dream of the saw trap?
That's a great point.
Like, what like, we don't have enough Jill Tuck to know why she's in this. Because she also works at, like, a methadone clinic helping people.
She got the baby smashed. Which reminds me, this movie has like Friday the 13th levels of flashbacks from other movies.
It shows the smashing of the baby like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I would say maybe 20% of this movie is flashbacks to other movies.
Hoffman returns to the observation room and finds the letter he wrote to Amanda Young, where he basically told her, who indirectly instigated Cecil's robbery at the whatever, resulting in her miscarriage. He used this knowledge to blackmail Amanda into killing Dr. Lynn Denlin earlier.
Okay.
You remember this?
Yes.
The letter was found by Pamela and given to Jill, who then uses it to ambush Hoffman. Jill, who had the remaining contents from her box, including a 6 envelope containing Hoffman's photo, restrains him and locks a modified reverse bear trap onto his head, posthumously fulfilling John's wish to test Hoffman after his death. William reaches the end of his path and enters the Cages, where he reunites with Pamela, who is his sister. He is confronted by Tara Brent, the widow and son of Harold Abbott, a former client who succumbed to his heart disease after William denied him his medical request. John's videotape informs Tara to decide William's fate by using the lever in her cell connecting to tanks of hydrochloric acid or hydrofluoric acid, from each cage. As William and Pamela try to persuade the family, an enraged Brent pulls the lever, releasing a platform of needles that kills William by injecting acid into his body. Jill exits the room as Hoffman escapes his wrist restraints. He escapes from the trap just as it activates, sustaining an injury to his right cheek in the process.
I did like that. I liked when he put the trap in the door and it got stuck. But also, I just want to see this thing tear somebody's head apart. Stop showing it to me unless you're going to tear a head apart, because we haven't seen it. Mm-hmm.
This is true. And then they made a Saw 7, which means we have, I think, 4 more to watch. 7, 8, 9, 10, and X.
Correct.
Wait, 7, 8, 9, and X. Not 10 and X. Just 7, 8, 9, and X. Anyways. Again, this is just a straight up fucking F. I just, I'm not even going to play around. It's just, I was thinking about it. And these have to be like the worst movies I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen worse movies before.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, have you seen a movie that competes with how bad these Saw films have been?
No, but I would have to think about it because these movies are so unmemorable. It would probably have to go up against something that I don't remember. So. Yeah. I'm going to say, at the moment...
Other things that come to mind are, like, Final Destination and, like, 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
But that's really kind of it.
13 Ghosts had Matthew Lillard in it, though, in that fun house, so...
Yeah.
I'd give this one a D-, I guess, because I liked the insurance agent stuff in the carousel. But besides that, this movie had really nothing for me.
Yeah.
Chris, pick a breakfast. French toast, blueberry, pancakes, scrambled eggs, a breakfast sandwich, waffles, or a donut.
I mean, traditional, normal, healthy Chris would go scrambled eggs, but I guess I'm a big waffle guy. I like waffles.
Pick a lunch. A salad, chicken nuggets, tacos, pizza, mac and cheese, or a sub sandwich.
I'm a sub sandwich guy, I think. Love Italian BMT.
Pick a dinner. Spaghetti, meatloaf, steak, pulled pork sandwich, paella, or beef stroganoff.
I guess a steak.
Pick a color. Pink, black, green, yellow, red, or gray.
Red.
Pick an animal. A kangaroo, cheetah, bear, bald eagle, sloth, or otter.
It's going to have to be a kangaroo, yeah.
Kangaroo. They love to jump. Pick a random word. Rival. Yellow, bouncy. Crazy, fluffy, or unusual.
Unusual.
Pick a TV show. SpongeBob, Bob's Burgers, Phineas and Ferb, Futurama, Rugrats, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
I think this quiz is losing the plot. Pick a cookie. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. Chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, oatmeal raisin, peanut butter, or peanut butter chocolate chip.
Just a chocolate chip.
Classic. Pick a movie genre. Horror, action, sci-fi, family, comedy, romance.
Horror.
Mm-hmm.
If I get Jill Tug again, I'm going to be pissed.
Pick a day of the week.
They're all there, I'm assuming?
All 7, yeah. The choices are wide open.
I guess I'm going Saturday, you know? Did I get Jill Tug?
And now what? And now what? I don't know how to get your results.
Well, now you know me better as a person, I guess. So that was really that's the real result.
Did we? You got Marvin the Martian. That's the Looney Tunes character you're most like.
That's so cool. I love Marvin the Martian. I've always loved Marvin the Martian and Martian Manhunter.
Since we started watching the Saw ones, I was like, this guy's like Foghorn Leghorn. I've been thinking every week to ask you, what Looney Tunes character do you think you are? Because there's a right answer, and I guess the right answer is Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was going to say Porky Pig. You give me big Porky Pig vibes.
Really? I can see that.
He's just nice. He's presentable. I like him.
Stutter sometimes.
Yeah. I'd like to think I'm the frog that dances when people turn around.
Who's Elton?
I would say if I had to pick Heart of Hearts, he's a Speedy Gonzales.
Nice. That's fair. That's really fair, actually. It's crazy fitting. I wish I could say, and that's that, Mattress Man. But instead, I have to say, can we do an Oops All Nick Swardson episode? No, Nick Offerman. No, I'm kidding. Nic Cage. Can we do an Oops All Nic Cage next week?
Next week, sure.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to watch Ratatouille.
Oh fuck yeah, let's do it. My pick's Ratatouille.
Oh no, what Nic Cage would you want to do?
Well, I'm watching Moonstruck, I think, on Friday, so.
Okay.
With Cher.
Yeah.
It's a romance. But Ratatouille's a good lock. That's a good lock.
I don't.
I can pop and lock on that.
I don't know what I would.
Long.
Let's do Moonstruck and another Nic Cage movie because I would have a hard time thinking of something I want to watch with Ratatouille.
Okay. There's some vampire movie with Nic Cage in it that Will's been telling us to watch for a while. That's
true. But also.
You could also pick Con Air, though.
I could pick Ghost Rider, though.
You could also pick Ghost Rider.
Let's see. Let's go to Nicolas Cage's IMDb.
Or Mandy. I never saw Mandy.
Mandy was fun. I remember liking Mandy.
Or The Abnormal Weight of Serious Success, or whatever it is.
You nailed it.
What is it? The Crushing Soul Weight of...
Serious Weight of Serious Success, or whatever.
Yeah.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
There we go.
Damn, Nic Cage is in a lot of movies.
He's in a lot of movies. Our whole podcast could literally be us watching Nic Cage movies. You ever seen Raising Arizona?
Yeah, we watched it for the show, yeah.
Well, we're at 110 episodes, so I'm going to forget sometimes.
Okay. Ooh.
What do you got?
Pick a number.
7.
1 to 30.
1 to 30? 21.
20. I hadn't thought of what would be what, so that really fell down the drain. All right, folks. It looks like next week we're taking a James Bond Saw break, and we'll be watching Moonstruck and Ghost Rider 2.
The second one? Oh my god.
No, we'll watch Ghost Rider 1. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great, dude. Sounds really good.
I'm actually genuinely excited about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't seen Ghost Rider in so long, and I've always wanted to see Moonstruck. But my other option was going to be Kick-Ass.
I'm buying my ticket for Moonstruck right now. Okay, well, for the time being, I think that may be that mattress. If you need more soup, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to our website, eatingsoupalone.com. And until next time,